What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marshall live, and I am live, you guys. It is Wednesday. It is June 10th of 2020. I am on one today. You guys, I woke up in a bad fucking mood, and literally every single thing, I've been up since 5:30. Every single thing seemingly this morning that can go wrong has gone wrong. And nothing serious. Like, give me a bro, Marshall, give me a break, homie. Like, really, you know, there's people out there that are suffering crazy oppression and trauma and pain and just horrendous, like terrible things that are happening to them. And so I guess I don't want to be too dramatic. It's not like everything is going wrong. Like, how blessed am I? You know what I'm saying? But Gillen Gang, do you ever have those days when you wake up and you're just like, ah, and then the energy you seem to create, like every step you go to, everywhere you go, it's like for example, I was in here setting everything up, right? I have a full cup of coffee. I had it set up here on my little studio desk, okay? And I was like, oh, I'm moving that desk. I'm going to fucking spill that coffee if I don't put it somewhere where I won't spill it. So I took the coffee, put it on the stool, well out of the way, right? And I'm like, I'm frenzying this morning. And I'm like, oh, like fucking this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I bend over to grab something off the ground and my butt, which is not even that big. And I'm a little guy. I'm only 5'6", right? My butt hits the stool, coffee starts shaking, gets all over the place. And I ended up spilling it, even though I went out of my way not to spill it. Lauren says, good morning. Lauren, good morning, girl. Oh, you guys, I thought I was in a shitty mood until I went live right now. You guys, today's show is awesome. We have an epic show today, as always. Listen, I'm sick and tired of all the racism and all the fucking white privilege and black lives and all lives and fucking blue lives. And like, listen, you guys, we're all one people. And somebody that I was watching that I follow online on all the channels, his name is Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum was a former, he's a black man. He's a former police officer, a conservative. I'm more probably conservative definitely than I am, but I like what he has to say. And he's been saying a lot lately when it comes to what's going on in the nation. And I just think it's a time, you know, not only for you guys to hear my voice, but for me to share content with you that I think is literally transformational. And so it's never for me to be right or wrong. It's nothing like that. You guys know that. I simply want to create a space on the Marshal Gillen Show where you can watch it, observe it, and then maybe we can talk about it and you can have an opportunity to do a new, take a new take on it, okay? You guys, also, we're going to be having Aleksander Marshall. I messed up. I can't believe I messed up his name. We're going to be having a good friend of mine, Alec, on today, who's a lifestyle entrepreneur, lives out in Texas. Him and his girlfriend just basically moved into this like freaking Texas mansion with an amazing pool. This motherfucker's going fishing every day. He's working out, looking good. He's on this new workout program called 75 Hard. And so in the second half of today's show, we're going to bring in Alec, and we're going to have a talk with him, man. We're going to see what he's about. We're going to see what he's up to. And I'm going to ask him some questions. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I see you out there just living. Doesn't even look like you're working. How the fuck do you pay the bills? We're going to figure that out when he comes on. You guys, do me a favor. Listen, we have big news, Gillen Gang. We got big news. And the big news is that as of right now, at the time of saying these words out of my mouth, MarshalTV on YouTube is officially at 992 subscribers. Look at that, you guys. Listen, this is only like our 14th episode or something, like our 14th or 15th episode. It seems like a lot longer than that, but that's what she said. I can't help myself. Hey, look at our cool graphics. That's us today. That's the show that's going on right now. That's Brandon Tatum, and that's Alec, who's going to be joining us on the second half of the show. But do me a favor. Literally, I show up every single day. I show up every single day to be able to create a transformational space. I don't need a pat on the back. I don't care about that. What I need is more people to see the show, to hear the show. And so literally, you guys, it would mean the world to me. Like maybe you want to help my movement. Maybe you want to help save 1 billion lives, that save 1 billion lives with the power of vulnerability and storytelling. You guys, every single day I'm giving the blueprint on how to have more success in health, wealth, love, and happiness. I just need you guys to share this out, okay? And I think this is a good lesson too, before we get into the Brandon Tatum thing and before we get into something I want to share, is like, you know, it's all about everything in life is about persistence and consistency. Okay. It's always about persistence and consistency. And here's what I mean, you guys. Like, I think I woke up this morning because lately it's like I'm putting ad spend behind amplifying the channel, MarshalTV, on Facebook and YouTube. We're showing up every day, like just having I think incredible content, creating an amazing space for people to transform. And it just gets tiring sometimes because it's like, sometimes you're like, what is it all for? Like at the time of shooting this right now, I have 2 live viewers. Okay. Now it's not about the likes and the views and the shares. It's not about that, but it becomes tough to show up every single day when you're literally showing up just talking to yourself. You know what I mean? Now, I only say that not because I'm tripping. I'm not going to stop. Like, I'm not quitting. Okay. Well, I'm saying this for you because I'm example right here in front of you guys of literally what happens when you continue to show up. Now, our views are continuing to go up day by day, not our live views, unfortunately, yet. But once I get back to speaking and once I start my Uniting America tour, people are going to tune in. And plus, like, dude, I'm not worried about that. But the reason I'm telling you guys this is because there's probably something in your life at the time of watching this or listening to this. You guys, I just got a brand new bag of vitamins last night from a buddy of mine. He grows his own stuff. He's almost fully self-sustainable on a property out here in Illinois. Meaning like they collect rainwater. He goes to the spring, this whole entire yard. Everything is like, it's a fucking garden. Everything like this dude has got, and so it's almost fully sustainable. And he also grows his own marijuana, cannabis, all different kinds of it. But he dropped this off to me last night, and I've been trying to I was trying to smoke a J before we went live, and I'm like, dude, it's so wet, I can't even smoke a J. So I'm just gonna take a puff of this. It's legal where I'm at, and I'm of age. I never condone anything done illegally or when it's done underage, whether that's alcohol or anything else that's legal. Prescription, you can't even buy super glue these days unless you're 18. But to those of you who do tune in, I'm appreciative. And I just want you guys to see that, look, 3 months ago when I started the channel, we had just under 340 some subscribers. Okay. Not that 992 is a lot of subscribers, but for some of you, you've been wanting to start a YouTube channel. You've been wanting to start a new job. You've been wanting to leave a relationship. You've been wanting to take action on this or on that. But we keep making up these reasons in our head as to why it won't work, why you shouldn't do it yet. What are we waiting for? And I was the same way with a lot of things. And so even though, I'm not getting the views that I wish I was, like if I had 1 million people viewing me, I know I'd be changing lives. Because I'm so transformational, because that's just who I am. Now, this is not about me. It's not just some white guy, some half Mexican dude sitting up here just telling you guys, oh, listen to me. I'm like, yo, motherfuckers, listen. And I don't mean to call you guys motherfuckers, but I'm like, listen, how much fucking clearer do I have to make it for you guys? How much else do I have to prove to you guys? Like, how many more fucking excuses can each and every one of you make for not living your life and showing up, playing victim? And I don't mean that like in a bad way, but I'm saying even the people at the top of the top of the top, they're continually trying to get better. And you can give it lip service or you can actually take action. And so it's interesting because literally right before I hopped on this live today, I went live on my personal Facebook page. And I was like, hey, this is probably my last day on this Facebook page, like regularly. And I've been saying that for a while over there, but like literally I'm done with Facebook over there because it's just a bunch of people who talk a bunch of shit, but don't actually do anything. Okay. I'm excited now to be able to, the reason that 1,000 subscribers is important on YouTube is because now with 1,000 subscribers, you guys, I can go live on YouTube from my mobile phone, which I couldn't go live on my mobile phone without 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. And so I've been getting about 12 to 15 new subscribers a day. We woke up this morning with 990. So we've already got 2. So I suspect that by the end of the day that I'll have 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers on Marshal TV, which like, what are we talking about? 1,000 people who have made a decision like, yeah, I kind of give a fuck what he's saying. Subscribe. Like, I'm so blessed. And so it's a big day. And what today though, is it made some space for me. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about in this episode. I had written it down last night. I wanted to share the Brandon Tatum thing with you. And I woke up this morning. I was like, I'm not sure, this and that. I was like, maybe I should, I'm trying to get people to come on this vacation with me if they want to come. And like, we have the merchandise in the store and I have like coaching and consulting, I guess I could sell. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to sell anything. And today what I realized is I don't want to have to say the right things anymore. Like, I am a man, I am a person, and I have an opinion. And I have been watering that down for years because I've been constantly trying to get the views, get the followers, get the money, get all these things. And like this morning I realized when I woke up and saw the numbers of the subscribers, and I know it's just silly. I don't know why it took this because you guys, I coach this kind of stuff. I know better. But I like woke up this morning, I saw that and I was like, you know what? And because I was like, fuck Facebook. And I don't mean that. We're big friends of the show. We're big friends of Facebook here at the show. Okay. Love Facebook. We love Facebook. Big fans of Facebook here at the show. Okay. Big friend of the show. All right. But I was like, fuck Facebook, man. I was like, the Facebook organic. And it's not Facebook's fault. It's how I have been using Facebook. But I've built this network over on my personal profile for the last like 3 or 4 years where I was using Facebook organically to make money online. But what I've done is I've created a network on Facebook of a bunch of entrepreneurs, but they're like very entry level entrepreneurs. Like they're not really about taking action. Like I go to Facebook Memories, I'll look at things from 3 or 4 years ago, and it's literally the same people that are commenting on my shit year after year after year who haven't done anything different. They haven't taken any action. Nothing has changed, but they still do the mental masturbation where they post a fucking motivational meme or they comment to my motivational meme and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, why don't you come out to Marshall Palooza? Oh, yeah, well, how much does it cost? As soon as somebody asks me how much something that I am selling cost, I know that they're not for me. I know that they're not woke enough and aware enough to be part of my paid tribe yet. It's not good or bad. It's not good or bad. And there's a zero judgment passed. But as soon as somebody says, yo, bro, what's it cost? I go, well, I love you. That's probably not the right fit for you. And some of you might be listening and watching this and go, well, why is that? You guys, because when I people that I hang out with, and let's just say wealthy and successful people, first off, I didn't used to be like this. I've worked hard over the last 3 years to become this man. But let's just say wealthy and successful people, what they know and believe is they never play victim to anything. Even when even things that aren't their fault or they don't have control over, they 100% of the time accept accountability and responsibility and ownership of their reality and their existence, regardless if it's their fault or not. And one of the things that allows people to do that is understanding how to invest their time, money, and energy. Okay. So if somebody comes up to me and they see something that I'm offering, like let's just say a vacation, like y'all motherfuckers have been locked up for 3 months, held at the all-time highest stress levels that you possibly could while your business has been shut down and while you haven't been exercising or getting any real connection. Now the gates are open and everybody floods the market to try to sell. It's all scarcity. It's all just ickiness and grossness. Facebook is disgusting. I go on my personal Facebook page and it's just a bunch of fucking scared coaches trying to outsell each other. It's terrible. And so I'm like, I don't want to be part of that frenzy. And so all of you need a vacation, right? All of you need a vacation. And I know that after spending or investing almost $250,000 over the last 5 years in my personal development and business mastery, I know that literally just being around me for fucking 15 minutes can change your life. If you don't believe me, go ask anybody that's ever worked with me. It's not because I'm amazing or anything. Well, I am amazing, but it's not because of anything I did. I just learned a bunch of skills. I learned skills about emotionality. I learned skills about mindset. I learned skills about productivity. I learned skills about digital marketing. I learned skills about business. I learned skills about selling, influence, persuasion. I've just been learning skills and taking all the money I ever make and reinvesting it into learning more skills. Because what I learned is that the more money I invest, the more money I get back. And so right off the bat, if somebody ever asked me, if they came up to me and they're like, oh, I heard you're having this vacation, how much does that cost? I'm like, oh, bro, it's not for you. And I have already done this. I'm like, oh, bro, it's not for you, man. What do you mean it's not for me? I'm like, bro, this doesn't cost anything. You have to understand this is an investment. Coming to a 7-day transformational event with coming on vacation with Marshal Gillen, because of the amount of money and time and energy I've invested to level up my skills, you're going to get value. You're going to get an ROI. So if you're a business owner, right? Like Alec is coming on here. Him and his girlfriend, they're successful. But I guarantee that if Alec and I talk and I start asking him some questions about what he needs help with or how we can scale up his business, I could help him make exponentially more money in just one talk. So that means when you come on vacation with me, not just being around me and having the opportunity to ask me something is of the value. And so it's like people are like, oh, well, how much does it cost to come on your vacation? I'm like, bro, it's not for you. Trust me. Trust, not for you, right? Not right or wrong, good or bad. Just is what it is. But people who are like, yo, bro, like what kind of investment is it looking like to go on vacation with you? Those are the people, and those are the people that have invested. Those are the people that understand what it means that wealthy and successful people trade money to make money. They trade energy to make money, to make money. Okay. And so showing up at something like that. And so anyways, the reason I'm getting into this is because once you get that, once you start getting around more people who understand this concept, you're going to be further removed from people who play victim. Because people who play victim in their life, to every circumstance, to everything that's concocted, to every news story, to every circumstance, people who continue to play victim in their life are never going to grow. They're never going to get any further. And with what's going on in society right now, I'm seeing a ton of victimhood. Like that's why it's so upsetting with me when people are like, oh, Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, that's bullshit. one, it's not real. It was concocted by somebody to incite race wars, a well-known and arguably the wealthiest racist in the world, right? So Black Lives Matter was actually made by a rich old white guy who's a racist, which most people don't ask the questions. They don't know the answer, right? And so it's interesting because for me, I woke up this morning and I looked at Facebook and the representation of why I've had to continue to go back and use that tool, even though it doesn't fulfill me and even though it makes me feel like shit, and why I'm so happy that we have this, because it was like this tangible thing where I was like, oh my God, Marshall, like open up. You can say what you want to say. Just fucking say whatever you want to say. Stop trying to water it down so you can try to get people to do this or that. Like just fucking come out and say it. And the video that I saw last night online couldn't have been more timely. It couldn't have been more timely. And what happened is there's the guy I follow online, his name is Brandon Tatum. And Brandon Tatum, he's just been very real and straight and forward about, you know, what's going on in reality and the fact that a lot of people are playing victimhood in their life and in their businesses. And so I want to play this video for you guys this morning. I think it's like maybe 22 or 23 minutes long, but it's important. I want you guys to hear this perspective. I wouldn't share it with you guys if I didn't think it was. And so we're going to play this video. But before I do, I want to share a different video with you guys. For any of you guys, because we've been hearing so much lately about, you know, racism and white privilege and this and that. And so I think one of the things that's so triggering for me is, unlike people mostly on Facebook or, you know, entrepreneurs, like I call people who just do lip service but don't actually invest anything. Well, entrepreneurs, they want to get behind these things. Oh, we have so many new activists. Oh, so many new activists lately. Put the black square up. Do the Black Lives Matter thing. It's like, bro, that's all bullshit, man. And I think it triggers me because I've been an activist for so long, but I'm not out here like, and I should be. I should talk more about the for-purpose business. I should talk more about the charity and the donating the time that we give, but I haven't been doing it. And so it's, for me, it's just annoying because all these activists are coming, these new activists are showing up and they're pretending like they're part of this cause. And how dare you say, you say all lives matter, Marshall, or how dare you say that Black Lives Matter is a dumb campaign? Like, you're white and you're part of the problem. Like, okay, for all of you who don't really know what's going on in the world, and this is all I've been trying to say since the fucking day one. Oh, that's sad. Oh, well, we have no live viewers. It's the first time in the Marshal Gillen show. That's the first time that that's happened, that we have had no live viewers. Anyways, let's watch this video.
You one of those people who's raging against Trump? You know, the protests in America and all that. Are you one of those who's acting like, you know, Trump is the devil himself? If you are, you're a fucking moron, or you're a fucking crook. Because let's look at some realities here. The reality is, in Libya right now, there are slave markets where black men are bought and sold today as property. Today. Not 200 years ago, today. And it happened during Obama's presidency, and it happened when Hillary Clinton was a US foreign minister, which is the Secretary of State. Did that bother you? Do you protest? Did any of these people burning and looting and protesting go burn anything then? Are you protesting the slave markets of Libya? No. How about concentration camps? You think Trump's a Nazi? There are concentration camps in China right now. Hundreds of thousands of Uyghur Muslim men are in concentration camps run by China. China is having Han Chinese men sleeping with the wives of these Muslim women so that they get they get Han children. China is raping Muslim women by the thousands. Are you protesting? No. Are you protesting about the LGBT, the homosexuals who get thrown off buildings as sinners in the Middle East? No. Arab militias killed 300,000 blacks in Sudan not too long ago. Did that bother you? No. George Bush, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden sent America to a war built on a bunch of lies that ended up breaking the Middle East and ended up in the deaths of, what, maybe 1 million people? Did you protest? No. Iran is jailing women for 30 years only for the sin of removing their headscarves. Does that bother you? No. You guys are hypocrites. Because the reality is that everywhere in the world where there is real horror, real slave markets, real slavery, real slaughter of black people, real concentration camps, real persecution of LGBTs, real persecution of women, you don't give a shit about any of that. You don't give a shit about the leaders of both the Democrat and the Republican parties who caused slaughter of vast scale for nothing. But Trump, who hasn't done anything, who hasn't even gone to war when the American deep state keeps wanting him to go to war, he refuses to go to war, he refuses to kill people, that drives you nuts. You're stupid. I don't know how self-righteous you think you are. I mean, every bloody idiot in the world, like Salman Rushdie is giving lectures to Trump about tyranny and dictatorship. Jesus, really? I hope Trump wins in 2020. And I hope that he will make you guys cry for some more years yet. Because you guys are crooks and fools. You guys are dishonest, and you guys are full of self-righteousness that counts for nothing, because you do not want to look at the real evils in the world. Hey, Trump, go Trump, make America great. Fuck him.
Now, this is interesting. Obviously, that guy's, he's really just kind of laying it down and kind of going in on people. But I've been saying the same thing. Guys, I made a video about this a couple days ago and about American privilege. Like, that's the problem, right? The problem is that America is such a great place to live. We have so many liberties and freedoms that stupid motherfuckers get to do and say all the things they want. And it's only a matter of time before laziness overtakes most people and it becomes this generational thing. That's not inherent to any race or gender. That's just people in general. And then that's why the people that you surround yourself with is so important. I was talking the other day, I'm like, dude, people are like, oh, Marshall, if you don't see racism, like, that's the problem, man. I'm like, no, motherfucker, I don't see racism because I don't hang out with racist people. Like, I don't see racism because I don't live in a racist neighborhood. If I did, I would take responsibility for my life and I would find a different place to live. If I had racist friends, I would say my part, and then I would find a different place and different friends to have. Like, it's not that hard, but everybody wants to play victim. We talk about this all the time, and that's literally what that guy's talking about. Hey, great, all of you Americans, that's awesome. Cool. Like, cool that you just finally found out that there's bad shit happening in America. Guess what? There's never, and listen, this is coming from other people. There's never been a better time there's not a better place in the world to be a black person than in America. We don't have oppression in America. We have people that play into oppression and write their own narrative. But like you guys are going to hear Officer Tate say in this video I'm about to play right now, I'm curious what you guys think after this, because when we really truly think about what's going on in society, what's really going on in the world, and then we try to like complain about fucking police officers killing black people, give me a break. 9 black people were killed in 2019 at the hands of an officer, right? Over 50 cops were killed in the same amount of time. You guys are going to hear a bunch of numbers from Officer Tate, but this is not me just like being like, oh, yo, bro, like, this is just some white guy up here propaganda. Like, dude, I'm telling you guys, when you look at the numbers and you actually get the facts from people who on the inside who aren't spewing out media propaganda, trying to drive us and trying to steer the narrative like fake COVID, right? Which I told you guys was fake in March, okay? It's the same type of thing. And so if you're willing to listen to what other people are saying and not just the news. This is the guy, Brandon Tatum. We're going to play. Now, this is a whole hour and 20 minutes. We're definitely not playing all that. We're going to go for about 15 minutes because the first 15 minutes are the most powerful. And this video is going to be, it's crazy. You guys should listen to him.
America, America, America. I just need to vent real quick. I just need to vent.
I'm telling you guys, this video right here is an epic rant. I mean, he goes in, and I want to share with you guys because this is what's up. I want to know what you guys think, okay? You guys, the Marshal Gillen Show does not exist to tell you guys what's real and what's not. The Marshal Gillen Show solely exists to give you guys an opportunity to have the bigger, fuller picture. And then upon that, if you decide, hey, you know what? I kind of feel like I want to know more. I didn't know all that. Maybe it changes my ideas. That's what this is about. So when we come back from this short break, what I want to do is I want to play that video. I'm going to play the first 20 minutes. I'm not going to interrupt it. And I want you to hear what Brandon Tatum has to say, because this dude is literally spitting game. Okay, this guy is talking it real. And I was like, after watching that last night and then waking up and seeing the freedom I'm about to have with a whole new platform and realizing that I don't want to be part of something toxic like the network that I built on Facebook. I'm ready to let all of that go and all that fakeness and business shit go. I just want to be around people who are actually doing shit and that want to do fun and cool shit with me, right? Other than that, everybody else can kick rocks, man. Like I just don't have time for that anymore. And so I want to share that ideology that I got literally when Brandon was like, you know, he was sharing this last night. I was like, yep, this is time, Marshall. It's time for you to step up. It's time for you to do this. But how can we get there? How can we get to our dreams if we never take action? And that's literally what he's going to say after the break. You guys, it is Wednesday, June 10th. This is the Marshal Gillen Show. Yo, you guys, welcome back to the Marshal Gillen Show. It is the second half of the first hour, and I told you when we came back from break, we were going to be diving into this Brandon Tatum video. Former police officer, African-American man, black man. I'm not sure. I think we're not supposed to say African-American anymore. And it's interesting, you guys, because in this video that he shares right here, what he's actually going to expand on is he talks about the difference between being a black American or an African-American and being African in America. Something like this. You guys are going to hear the difference. He's like, why are these people getting in trouble, but not these people, even though they look the exact same? And so some interesting things to expand on and to think about. But I just want to remind you guys that, again, I'm not here to push any particular point. I have my beliefs and I'll say them, but that doesn't mean that you have to believe them. And if you disagree, like, that's amazing. Like, that's what makes life so amazing, so great. We get to be alive. We get to experience the full spectrum of emotion that God has given to us. So again, this is never about being right or wrong. I just want you guys to always approach the content and what we're doing with an open heart and an open mind, in a place where you're willing to love God, love people, and do the best you can to help yourself and help others. If you're always coming to the Marshal Gillen Show, showing up ready to do that, well then, my friend, you and I are going to get along. Okay. In the second half of this show, you guys, in about 30 minutes from now, we're going to be joined by Lozenko, a good friend of mine, lifestyle entrepreneur. And I'm going to be asking him some questions like, yo, bro, why is it you get to go fishing all day, hang out by the pool and fucking work out and you make a bunch of money? Like, how's that work? Is this a scam? Is that real? I don't know. We're going to find out at the turn of the hour. But in the meantime, let's tune into what Brandon has to say. And then after this is done, I'm going to expand on it. If you guys are watching this live or on replay, comment below. Let me know. Let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know your take. I don't want to make this a one-sided thing. And I was just thinking real quick after the break, you know, nobody's going to comment on this video. I know that because only a couple hundred people are probably going to see it. Nobody's watching it live right now. Maybe one or two of you might make it this far in the podcast episode. And I was like, I've been down about this all morning. I think that's why I woke up in a sad mood. Because I'm like, here we go again. I'm like back to a show that nobody's watching and nobody's listening to. And I'm trying my best, right? I'm doing my very best. And then during the commercial break, I was sitting there and I'm like, bro, you're sitting here preaching about a victim mentality, right? And you're playing victim right now to yourself. And I just got the biggest, like, happiest smile. And I was like, this is why I get to win. Like, this is exactly why Marshal Gillen gets to win. This is why the Marshal Gillen Show on MarshalTV gets to be a multiple $1 million advertising brand, marketing our channel, is because I'm not going to give up. I don't give up. And I know that over time, like water, even water can erode rock. It can build through or go through the hardest surfaces, the toughest situations. And so I just started realizing, I'm like, bro, like, you've done like 17 episodes after like a year of changing and doing like a gajillion different things, like what the fuck do you think? Do you think that people are just all of a sudden going to tune in? No, because that's not how it works. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick because I know a lot of you are going through the same things right now. And I'm just saying, like, listen, don't trip, man. Just because nobody's watching right now doesn't mean anything. People are going to watch. It's going to grow because I'm going to keep showing up. And so if you keep showing up for whatever it is that you want to do, I'm telling you, my friend, when you wake up in the wrong side of the bed, like I did this morning, try to stop, try to be present, try to look and observe at what you're actually doing. Like I was in the commercial break. I'm looking at my studio lights. I have this cool commercial that's playing. I'm delivering fire content. I'm producing a show every day. I'm showing up for myself. And I was like, bro, you're tripping, homie. And so if any of you guys are tripping today, I just want to remind you, I love you. You're 100% supported by the universe and you get what you put out. So become the person you want to be. Be that person you want to be every day and watch the results roll in. But that only happens when you're not playing victim. So we just saw what before the break, the video of the other guy saying, yo, Americans, you have an American privilege. You don't know what fucking racism and slavery and oppression really is, okay? So if you guys didn't see that part, make sure you go back in the episode and watch that. So we just heard him say that. So now we're going to play about 15 to 18 minutes of this Brandon Tatum video. This is some real talk. Again, I want to know what you guys think, all right? Let's see what he has to say.
America, America, America. I just need to vent real quick. I just need to vent because there's a lot of apologies that need to be brought forth. There's a lot of apologizing that needs to go on. I need somebody to explain to me how George Floyd got his funeral televised on every major network. George Floyd has been the talk of the nation. People are protesting and killing each other over George Floyd. And I just read earlier that 25 Black people have been murdered in Chicago over the weekend. 25. Now, this is what struck me, and it bothers me so much that it's uncontrollable frustration in me to the point where I'm so mad at our country, some of the people in our country, that I almost want to give up on these people. I read a story about a few people that died in Chicago over the weekend. 2 young ladies, both 18 years old, aspiring young Black people, going to college, doing the right thing, got murdered this weekend. Their funeral ain't gonna be on one television show. They're not gonna get a mural. Hell, nobody's gonna even talk about it. They're not gonna make the news. Murdered in cold blood. Then there was another gentleman, which I saw in the article. He was just visiting Chicago, a father of 3, murdered in a drive-by shooting. I just don't understand. What is Black Lives Matter for? They won't even talk about people that don't get killed by police. And nobody's gonna be able to explain to me what in the flying flip is going on. It's Nancy Pelosi now taking a knee, kneeling to show respect for George Floyd. 25 Black people have died one weekend, one city, one part of one city. We're not going to even talk about all the brothers and sisters that have gotten murdered in the protest. We're not going to even talk about their Black lives. You got kids getting murdered. You got good people. You got aspiring Black people who will grow up to probably be somebody. They wasn't smoking meth. They not robbing women at gunpoint. They're going to college and getting an education. Murder. They not gonna get a name. They ain't gonna get a day. You ain't gonna know. Nobody even know who the 25 people that died in that city. That's just in Chicago. We're not talking about the rest of the country. And y'all up here talking about police brutality. Let me give you some stats. Y'all don't understand how mad this make me. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea the amount of stuff people are going through over George Floyd, and we got people dying on a day-to-day basis, and they don't get no coverage, no love. Chicago, I looked it up. I put it on my Twitter. They had 192 deaths, black people murdered in Chicago last year. Do you know how many police officers killed unarmed black men in Chicago in 2019? 0. Not one. Let's go to 2020. 2020. We're not even halfway through the year yet. And Chicago has 191 black homicides. Do you know how many black people were shot unarmed by Chicago police this year? 0. None. Zilch. 0. None of them. Every death, violence. 90+% is gun violence. And y'all stupid, mindless, ignorant, foolish people are protesting for George Floyd. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. If you've been out here protesting George Floyd and you ain't looking at you ain't protesting for none of these other people, you should be ashamed of yourself. Shame. Y'all beating people over the head. Family members quitting on each other. And y'all won't even protest for black people that didn't get killed by white police officers. I mean, I don't think Jesus is gonna like this, what y'all doing. I used to always wonder, man, how do people go to hell? And I'm not trying to say you're gonna go to hell, but what you're doing is so evil. You're destroying America. And you know better than what you're doing. Nancy Pelosi know better. And they taking a knee for George Floyd. Won't take a knee for that young lady that got murdered. Won't take a knee for no other black people that have been murdered. I never heard them talk about Tashawn Lee. I never heard them talk about that 9-year-old that got murdered in cold blood. They haven't even mentioned his name. I guess he don't even count. They know nothing about that kid. And the sad part is, Tashawn Lee, he was killed for no reason. He didn't do nothing to deserve to die. But they could tell you about the other kid, Tamir Rice, and he deserved. I didn't say he deserved to die. He put a gun on police officers and they shot him. And unfortunately, he died. But Tamir Rice is everywhere. Tashawn Lee, nobody knows who he is. How does that make sense? Colin Kaepernick, they ain't took a knee for none of these black people who have died at the hands of other black people. If you think about this for a minute, what is the mission here? Do you want less black people to die? I don't get it. Like in 2019, 9 black people were shot unarmed, or who were unarmed was shot by the police. And we all know, unless you dumb, you know that every unarmed person isn't innocent. There's reasons why you can be shot although you don't have a gun in your hand. And so we know 9 people were innocently killed. But just for the sake of argument, just say that 9 of them were innocently killed. It's 9 people. 9. If cops never shot another unarmed man, that's 9 people. Y'all got more than 9 people dying in one city in 2 days. Listen, I think in Chicago, I think I read in this article, they had 18 people killed in 24 hours. 24 hours, they had 18 homicides in 24 hours in one part of one city in one state in the United States of America. It's 50 states, one state, 18 homicides in 24 effing hours. And police done shot 9 people over 365 days multiplied by 24 hours. I don't even know what that number is. But y'all out here burning the city down, disowning your family members, putting black squares for 9 people. And in 2020, there has been 3 people. 3. Now, how's somebody supposed to take you seriously? And I'm blaming, and I'm talking about black people too, because you started this. You done dragged these weak white people with you, but you started this. You've been bashing white people about black lives, and a lot of y'all don't even really care about black lives. It's a political stunt. Y'all don't care about black lives. Y'all don't care. Because if it was a Republican that get murdered, y'all don't care. That person don't count. If it's a black person killed by a black person, y'all don't even want to talk about that. If it's a black person killed by a black police officer, y'all not going to even play that on the TV. It's only if they get killed by a white person. Only. Why Nancy Pelosi ain't talking about? Think about this. And I'm going to call out Trump and everybody else. Somebody needs to address, I don't know, maybe Trump did. I haven't looked at his Twitter today. Trump and these politicians, the same ones kissing George Floyd's rear end when he was a complete crook. What? Are you not going to talk about Chicago? Black Lives Matter. To who? To who? Not Black Lives Matter. Somebody said my audio is weird. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? I guess my stuff off. Can y'all hear me now? Good now? I did have my finger in front of the thing. My fault. Oops. But anyway, I'm sorry for the bad audio. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, I've lost respect for a lot of people. I've lost respect. You know. Let me tell you this. Black people in America have reached an all-time low. Reached an all-time low. And everybody keeps saying, you always talking about black people, you always talking about black people. But we are the ones that are promoting a man who was a crook his whole life, just about. Maybe he had some times where he found Jesus. He was a crook his whole life. He died smoking meth and fentanyl. And he is a god in the black community. He's a god. Celebrities at his funeral, they forgot about COVID-19. They won't even worship God because of COVID-19. And then all of a sudden, COVID-19 disappears. They at this boy's funeral. 3 funerals. And you pastors out here, God is going to get you. God is going to get you. God is going to get you. I often wondered, how do good people go to hell? And I'm not saying they're going to hell. I'm just saying this is what I wondered. How are you a pastor and you're preaching God's word and you are in the middle of your church preaching division and racism? Somebody help me. Somebody help me. If you are mentioning white privilege behind the pulpit, you have no God in you. You don't know God. You playing. You playing with people's money. Because in the Bible, there's no more condemnation in Christ. There is no male or female in Christ. There is no black, white, green, or orange. We're all God's children. There is no such thing as white privilege in the kingdom of God. Because therefore, you're trying to tell God that God ain't got more power than some man-made privilege. So you telling me that the door that God opened, the white man can close it because of white privilege? Or that God, when he anoints somebody to do a work, that his work cannot be fulfilled because the white man is going to interrupt it. Y'all know y'all wrong. Pandering. God ain't pleased with the lies and pandering. You got white people at your church and you have a whole sermon about the black struggle. If you think that black people are oppressed in the United States of America systemically, then you ain't got no God in you. You got no God because you have no logic. You are not reasonable. You are emotional. You should not be a pastor. You should not be a pastor. Black people are not oppressed in America. In what way? How? Oh, because you smashing and dashing, somehow you oppressed. Because your mom and them didn't do what they supposed to do with their money, you mad at the white man doing what he's supposed to do with his money. Ain't nobody told you to go buy no Jordans. You could start you an LLC with them 5 Jordans you got in your closet. Ask me, why am I saying this? When I was growing up, that's all people were talking about. Getting J's. $200 sneakers. You ain't got no job. You spend $200 on some Jordans. No generational wealth. Y'all out here get signed to the NFL draft. Joe got here going buying Bentleys. What you getting a Bentley for? You ain't got no money like that. 80% of NFL players go bankrupt. You are not passing along generational wealth. 80% of players in the NFL go bankrupt, and 80+% of them are black people. That's cultural issues. That's not the white man. The white man didn't tell you to go buy Gucci and Fendi. When you go and check the check in the NFL, you making league minimum. You should be investing your money in property. You should be setting yourself up for the future. You may need to drive a Prius your first 3 years in the NFL. But no, you got to be big shot like the other fool, and y'all ain't got no wealth. All that money generated in the NFL, y'all Negroes could come together and build financial security. But y'all ain't gonna do that. Y'all ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. Because the white man's holding you back. Even though the white man paying you millions of dollars, they holding you back. Some of y'all working for white people that done made an investment, created a company. The white man done gave you a job, and now they're your problem. Listen, and listen, Tyrone, the white man didn't have his hand on your back while you were at the house with that girl. He wasn't pushing you in and out. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. He wasn't pushing you in and out, and then she pregnant and you went out somewhere. The white man ain't got nothing to do with that. You shouldn't have been smashing and dashing. And then you got a kid that you don't even take care of. And then that kid ain't got a daddy. That's on, bro. That's on you, bro. That's on you. That's on you. Your mama told you to go to school and get an education. You should have been doing your schoolwork instead of you chasing these girls. That's on you. That's not the white man. Some of y'all parents need to be held accountable. You ain't going to one PTA meeting, but you know what the Real Housewives doing. Ain't at your kid's school, don't know your kid teachers. You ain't taught your kid nothing. You taught them how to grow up and be a dummy. But that's systematic oppression. No, you oppressing your own kids. Get your life together. Do your part. Y'all out here making excuses for what? For what? See, the problem is, and this is, I only know what it's like to grow up black. I don't know what it's like to grow up white. The problem is that you waste too much time worrying about somebody else. You sitting here looking at the white man going, yeah, you looking at me in the store right now. Why are you worrying about what other people doing? Worry about what you doing. Oh, I got to work twice as hard as the white man. No, you need to work twice as hard as everybody. Because you forget, you got to compete against black people too, and Asians, and Mexican, and immigrants from Africa. Let me tell y'all something. If oppression and racism was really a thing, really a bad thing in the United States of America, why are African immigrants doing much better than black Americans? Why? African immigrants are destroying black Americans on every level. Education, career. When you look at pay, you say, what's the pay gap between black African immigrants and black Americans? I thought oppression and systematic oppression, they don't know you from Africa. They just know you got black skin. Oh, it's fake. It's fake. It's called culture. If you made it and you're an immigrant and you made it to the United States of America, you're probably cream of the crop. You're probably an individual who work hard, understand values, and you appreciate your country. At least you appreciate America, even if you ain't a citizen. And you come over here and you work hard, you put your head down and you get it done. You ain't like the black people in America, not all, that's complaining all the time and talking about somebody else then did something to somebody instead of getting the job done.
Okay, so you guys get the idea. Now, I mean, obviously it's a very powerful video, and that's only the first, would we play maybe 15 minutes of it? He goes on, this was a lie, that was the first 20 minutes of it. He goes on for another hour after that. And so this is not, again, me sitting up here trying to be like, oh, like trying to prove a point. The whole episode, when I started off, was about making excuses. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care, you know, what color you are. You live in fucking America. If you can't find success in America, then I promise you're not going to find it anywhere else. And if you're like, well, fucking, it needs to be fair and equal, like, dude, that is not what America was founded on. America was literally founded on people who broke away from oppression and wanted to gain and have more. And so, you know what I mean? Again, you guys, I just wanted to create a space for you guys to have an opportunity to go listen. It does. Everything in reality is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. And everybody, no matter what color, what gender, what your background is, where you're from, every single person can find a narrative in the world to reinforce any feeling that they want to feel. So all I'm saying is, listen, Gillen Gang, do you like the feelings that you're feeling, you know, out in society? What we're going through right now? And if the answer is no, then I would suggest getting around better people, tuning into better information, right? Taking better action. Simple things. Friend of the show, Evelyn, says, I see all of that. I see all of this that's happening as a distraction to something greater, an agenda that's been intended from centuries back. As the generations continue to evolve and the conditioning in all human interactions continues to be tamed with, matters like this will always show up. It's the byproduct of decisions that are being made. All of these events happen. Meanwhile, it's pushing forward everything else that's not being addressed deliberately. There's a battle happening that we cannot see right now. Evelyn, I couldn't agree more. There's definitely a battle between good and bad. But again, I just thought that video was a really interesting because he gives us an opportunity to look at what's happening in the world and then to, like, you know, something tangible and to go, wow, like, how do I feel about that? Where else in my life am I creating these feelings? Where else in my life am I not stepping up and taking responsibility? Like, listen, I'm not saying that any of it's right or wrong, good or bad. I'm not saying that there aren't people who've experienced racism. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm saying that life is how you perceive it, and you can play into whatever story you want. When I woke up this morning, I was in a bad mood. I was like, well, man, nobody's watching the show. This is never going to grow. And I'm like, bro, it's been 15 episodes after a year of doing a gajillion different things. And so, like always, Gillen Gang, the only thing I wanted to do with the first hour of this show is I wanted to prove to you guys that attention goes, energy goes where focus flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. That's what I wanted to prove to you, okay? And what I mean by that is, yeah, there's a lot of bullshit that's happening out there in the world. And you guys can do whatever you want. And you can tune into whatever you want. It's not right or wrong. I'm just asking you, is what you're doing every day, is it resourceful? Are you having resourceful thoughts so you can have resourceful feelings, take resourceful actions, and then get resourceful results? That's it. And once you have a system down and you surround yourself with a community of people who are just like you, who are just as driven as you, who have the same types of goals that you do, who also want to be away from all the knuckleheads, you're going to watch your life transform. I talk about the power of association all the time. The power of association has changed my life, okay? It's who you surround yourself with and what you focus on. And so in the next half of this show, I'm going to bring on a lifestyle entrepreneur, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to ask him some questions. He's going to show you guys, he's going to you that even in the times of pandemic, even in times of all this nonsense, and even though it is terrible and it's awful and it's heart-wrenching and we all wish that we could go out and save everything, in the end, the number one thing we can do is save ourselves, is heal ourselves, because the way that we choose to show up in the world, physically where we're at, start where we're planted, that's the energy we can start to give off to the people that we surround. And then that starts to perpetuate. And so again, you guys can do whatever you want, focus on whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just saying, hey, yo, did you know that you get what you think about? And I'm going to prove that when we come back after this short commercial break with lifestyle entrepreneur, my good friend Alec. I haven't seen him or spent any time with him since we set a Guinness Book of World Record, which I think was a shit. I mean, it's been a minute, maybe back in 2017. I can't even remember. But again, it's just more proof that the power of association and taking action, no matter how many views you guys are getting right now, it's going to prove to you guys that anything's possible. You guys are going to dig this story about how Alex and I first met and spent some time together. And we're going to hear about why he's going fishing and working out and swimming in his freaking nice pool. And like during this pandemic, like people are supposed to be struggling. Doesn't he know? Or maybe there's something we don't know. We're going to find out at the short commercial break. Or those people who are getting ready and they know they have a big story or message to share, I want tonight to be the start of the awakening for you guys, all right? It's your boy Marshall live, and we are back for the second hour of the Marshal Gillen Show. It is Wednesday, June 10th. According to one of my Instagram friends, it is Wine Down Wednesday, like drink wine, right? Wine Down Wednesday. And so I'm going to be live later tonight on Instagram with my friend Stephanie. I think it's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to watch me do my thing on somebody else's platform, head over there. I'm going to get some wine. So you guys are going to see me drink some wine. I don't usually do that. That should be fun. But in the meantime, you guys, we're going to bring on a good friend of mine, Alex, and we're going to ask him some questions about what the hell he's been up to, what a lifestyle entrepreneur is, and how he's helping people in the world. So without further ado, give a big round of applause for the incomparable Aleksander. What's up, bro?
Man, what's
Woo!
up? What's up? Thanks for having me here.
I can't hear you. There you are.
You can't hear me at all?
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
No, there's a delay. Yeah. You look like you look like one of those old school like kung fu movies where they're talking and it's like
I got my CD player here and I'm going. Can you hear
cool,
me?
man. Well, we're gonna run with it. It's a little bit off. Yeah, hold on a second. Stay there.
I wonder if
I'm gonna
it's
try
mine.
one thing. Are you there? I know you're fine. There's just a weird ass delay. That's all. It's not a huge deal.
Okay.
Oh wait. Cool. Let's roll there, man.
Man, everything's amazing. Life is good. We're out of the quarantine. I'm excited. A lot of things are happening and it's just good, man. It's good to be alive.
Dude, come on, man. I love that, dude. I totally agree with you. But I want to, first off, I got to know what's going on, dude, because that living room looks like a serious living room. You look like you guys are like, I don't know, like freaking drug dealers in Cuba or something. What's going on, man? You guys just moved into a big ass house.
Yeah, we just moved in March and it's been a ton of fun. This house is literally I mean, it's out of anything I would ever imagine I would live at.
Yeah.
Okay. And man, if you know my story, I mean, you know a little bit about me, obviously, but like if you don't know my story, like I come from poverty. Like I come from, you know, not knowing where. In fact, let me back it up. My mom, when she was pregnant with me, she literally lost most of her teeth because she couldn't feed herself and me. So, you know, that's the kind of, you know, that's the kind of life I come from. And now here we are.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And so like, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kiev, Ukraine.
Okay. When did you get here?
And I got here literally almost exactly 6 years ago.
So it's like not even that long ago, really, in contrast at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you speak English when you showed up?
I spoke a little bit. Well, I shouldn't say a little bit. I mean, I spoke quite a bit of English because I've been learning it since I was 5.
Okay.
And then I visited the U.S. I spent 3 summers here before I decided to move. So I did speak a little bit, but it wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
People ask me, where'd you lose your accent? How did you get rid of your accent? I said, I lost it on the way here. Dude,
that's funny, man. Well, like honestly, I'm curious because now you're bringing me on the show, and you know, I have a background a little bit. I understand what you and your girlfriend do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of her handle. What does she go by?
Jessie Lee.
Yeah,
just Boss Lee. Boss Lee.
Boss Lee. That's what it is. That's what I was trying to think of. Boss Lee. But it's interesting, bro, because like we were just talking earlier in this episode about just the victim mindset, and that the victim mindset, it's not inherent or unique to one specific race or gender. Like it's a human trait, you know, and it's something that our ego usually instills in us to keep us alive. Like that's why it exists, right? But now it exists in a little bit different way, obviously. You know, in a modern society, we don't have the same kind of pressures and things that are going to kill us, but it's the same chemicals in our body. And so, you know, sit here and listen to you. You're going, look, I just showed up 6 years ago. I come from extreme poverty. And I spoke English, but like, you know, I'm not conversing back and forth. And now here I am 6 years later. sitting in a house with my dream girl, my dream house, and literally work like I get paid to do cool workouts and go fishing and then create content. And more than anything, that's why I wanted to have you on the show, bro, because I'm like, this is a dude that proves that anything is possible when you show up for yourself and you don't play victim to anything. Because it's always, I mean, I'm sure, dude, like, I mean, did you experience any type of racism, like, or anything like that, or like discrimination when you first came at all?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Where did you go to when you first came over?
So when I first came over, I came straight to Texas, and I started, you know, we had this apartment in Plano, and I started out cleaning apartments.
That's wild.
I started out like working literally 14, 15-hour days, making not even $100 in a day.
That's wild.
Sweating my butt off all day long. By the way, I wanted to ask, is this a PG-13 or what kind of?
No, this is like, you can say whatever.
Okay, just in case I get passionate.
You know, sometimes I have a little bit of a potty mouth, as people well know, and so yeah, unfortunately, let's see, we have some comment here. Sounds fine, no delay. Yeah, we're good now. So what I wanted to say though is let's give them a little actually, like, what, just briefly, because I want to share the first time we met and what we were doing and both at in our life. But before we do, just share briefly, like, what is it that you and Boss Lee do? Like, what do you guys do? People are like, oh, they might be watching from the outside. Obviously, I understand what lifestyle entrepreneur is, but just explain to the audience, somebody watching or listening may not, they're like, wait, you're part of one of those MLMs, you're a digital entrepreneur, like, what are you? And so maybe just break down kind of like what your day looks like so people have a brief understanding of how this whole thing works.
Yeah, so I mean, we do a lot of things. She owns multiple businesses, not only online businesses, but also brick and mortar stuff. We do different investment stuff. So, I mean, we do a lot of things, but the biggest vehicle that we're using is network marketing to sell exogenous ketones. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different opinions on network marketing industry. There's a lot of different views and so on. But man, like, it's literally the best opportunity. If you come from anything close to where I came from, this is literally the best and the easiest way to get your feet, dip your toes into the entrepreneurship world and start learning how to build businesses, right? Because the cost of entry is literally next to nothing, right? For example, Boss Lee just bought a hair salon, right? And cost of entry was crazy, right? I'm not going to call numbers, but it was multiple six figures, right? Just to get into it, right? And most people start businesses not even knowing if they're going to be profiting or not, right? So the cost of entry is literally almost zero, right? In fact, most companies right now over the COVID time, they've had like $0 entry or $1 entry or whatever, right? So you can get started right now, right? Even if you're literally like in poverty right now.
Right.
Next thing is I should say all of the business aspects that come, like, you know, warehousing, manufacturing the product, doing the research, doing all the doctor studies and all the things. It's already done, right? It's already done for you. The company, whatever company that you feel attracted to and passionate about, it's already done for you, right? All you have to do is literally be the best customer, right?
Yeah. So essentially what you're saying is that, like, network marketing for the right person is because we talk about this on my show all the time. You have to have better skills to get better results. The more skills you have, the better results you get. Same thing, we were talking about power of association. But what it sounds like to me, first and foremost, is what you're saying is you're basically like becoming a spokesperson for things that you already use and believe in.
Exactly.
That's interesting, man, because I know a lot of people will hear that. And I love what you said. Oh, the cost of entry, right? And a lot of people may not understand exactly what that is. And you just explained it beautifully. Like people think, oh, I start a business. I got to pay for this, for rent. I got to pay for all the stools and all the stuff and the insurance and the licensing. And it's like, no, like you guys, we have online now. We have social media and we have mobile phones and laptops. There's all kinds of stuff that you can sell and promote for companies that already have big infrastructures set up. And so, Alec, I want to ask you this, man, because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, so you're telling me I can make a bunch of money, but I have to pay $500 or $1,000 up front to get started?" Sounds like a scam. Like, it's funny because I heard this quote the other day. I keep saying it because it's so funny, but it's like the rich get richer and the poor think everything's a scam. And I'm like, bro, that's so true, man. And so, for a lot of our viewers, they're probably kind of on the cusp of like becoming that full-time digital entrepreneur. But like, what do you say to that, dude? When you hear that and somebody's like, oh, I got to pay money to do, like, what do you have to say to that, man?
I mean, it's a choice, right? It's a choice. You every single day you wake up in the morning and you make a choice. Whatever it is. You can choose to hit snooze, or you can choose to get up and go get ready for the day, right? So you can choose to have your mind closed to to seeing somebody else's perspective, right? And it comes back to the power of association. If you hang out around 5 broke people that are saying it's a scam, then you're probably going to be saying it's a scam as well, 100%. Right? If you hang out around people that are successful and making it happen out there, right, then you're probably going to become someone close to that, 100%. Right? So it's a choice to keep your mind open to different opportunities, because if opportunity is not knocking on your door, build a door, right? And by building a door, I mean open your mind to different options out there, right? And just be able to listen. That's why you have 2 ears
and 1 mouth. Yeah, dude, I dig that, man. And so I haven't asked you this, but I bet I'm going to right now. But I would assume that among all the amazing things that you've experienced by running your own business, that being part of running multiple businesses with Jesse.
It's Jesse Lee.
Jesse Lee.
Yeah.
Jesse Lee. And so with Jesse Lee, is like, I know that the freedoms, I know that the nice, like the material stuff is really great, but I would add, well, what's it like having the network? I mean, what is the value in like actually having friends and people that care and want to do things? Like, what is that like?
I mean, it's amazing. Like literally any kind of information, any kind of resource, right, that you might want to know about, right? It's available out there. You just have to find the right people who know where it's at, right? 100%. And and again, like back to the business, the network marketing side of the networking side of network marketing, right? You get to literally get around people who are making millions and millions of dollars, right? And there's a circle, right? People think that there's like these secret societies, right? Well, it's true. There are secret societies. There are, right? And unless you're open to, the opportunities, and unless you, are willing to go out there and meet those people, you won't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So, absolutely. I mean, same like even with investment stuff, like, yeah, you can go and find, investments, you can go and find, cheap stocks or whatever, or, you can get lucky, but there are people who literally do this stuff for a living. And if you know those people, you literally get text messages and phone calls saying, look, here's an opportunity, you're in or you're out.
100%.
Right? And it's a choice again.
Dude, I love that. And it's like, we haven't talked like this in a couple of years, I think, at this point. And just like to hear like how confident and how matter of fact you are in the beliefs and like what you've manifested, man. It's truly really like, it shows me that you're one of the few people in my life that's actually playing at the high level that we're all like, aiming for. And it's like, I've been trying to tell people, bro. I've been trying to tell people like, yo, You guys should be making money from your phone. It's really easy. But it's like the people are skeptical. And so for you to sit in and talk about power of association, your network, it's something I preach all the time. I'm like, yo, you guys, like the number one thing that changed my life like that was when I started investing in my network. Like it was everything. And so it's funny to me, you know, I planned this vacation in September, Marshall Palooza, and for nothing more than like, I just don't want to coach and consult anymore. I'm not going to do that. Don't want to do that. I want to build a TV network. That's what I love doing. I love performing. And so I was like, I'm just going to go on vacation. I'm like, but I might as well get a fucking big enough place and basically play like a travel agent. And so some people, we've been selling tickets and people are like, oh, some people are no problem. They're like, fuck yeah. Like, is there a bed left? That's the trip. And I'm like, yeah. But then a lot, you know, a bigger majority, obviously, of people are like, oh, like, well, I'm not going to, why would I pay that to go on a vacation, you know, for a week? And I'm like, listen, if you don't understand, you know, that it's not the investment, the direct investment you're making to be there. It's spending a week around brilliant and motivated and dedicated people who are like already solving like problems and they're already like moving. But when you put a bunch together of people in one room, like with your network marketing, like it's magic. And so
it's a whole different.
Said that. You're like, if you don't know, you don't know. And it's not, I'm no longer in the business of trying to convince people, like do it. And so I wanted to touch on that with you guys. So like, you know, as this business starts to go forward, what is it like? How have you guys found a way to like brand and advertise what you do without having to do the whole okay, go write a list of 100 people in your life and then go message them? Like, what is this new age like kind of life? Because I see you doing a lot of things, and we're going to get into that in the second half of this interview. I see you out fishing, see you swimming, I see you working out the Dallas Cowboys freaking training facility, like the top of the top shit, you know. And I want to know like what's going on. But first off is what is it that's happening behind the scenes that's allowing this to happen?
So I mean, there's a few things to it. First, I just wanted to say that by the time that I have met Jessie Lee, the castle was already built, right? The house was already built. She's been in business for over 9 years now, and she started out needing $300 to pay rent, living in a basement, right? So I just wanted to make sure that that's known, that, you know, she didn't come from wealth either, right? And you know, over the 9 years that she's been in direct selling network marketing business, right, she has learned a lot of stuff. And one of the biggest, that's what she's known for, is like systems, right? Every single thing that you know that you're going to be doing over and over and over and over and over again, you need to figure out a system that you can replace that action with. Does that make sense? So for example, right, you know, like you said, making a list, right, the old school ways we call them, right? You can still make a list, right? You still need a list, right? The list is literally where your money is at, because, you know, Grant Cardone talks about it a lot. You know, who's got my money, right? Because the money is already there, right? The money is already in the system. It's in the market, right? It's not like money travels from a different planet when you make a sale, right? The money is there. Someone has your money already, right? So I don't know how much you want, right? I don't know how much you want to make, but somebody has it, right? So, you know, if you can figure out a way to reach out, right? Okay, so I'm kind of jumping around a lot of places.
You're doing excellent. I'm kidding. This is great.
But look, if you're broke right now, I don't know how many people are watching, who's watching. If you're broke right now, it's because nobody knows you.
Right. Fact.
That's all. That's the bottom line, right? Yeah. So
what would you say? What would you say that Jessie Lee's biggest thing for her was to become? Because now she's got, I mean, tens of thousands of followers. I mean, what do you think? What did she talk about? How did she get in front of more people?
So I mean, it's all about being yourself, right? You live your life, and you do you, right? You don't try to become anybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You don't try to become Marshall Live, right? And go and do crazy stuff and like start all these shows. You be you, right? If you like fishing, go fishing, but fish louder, right?
Yeah.
Talk about it. Now we have devices, we have our phones. It's literally like TV in the 90s or 80s or whenever, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And and you've been talking about it for a long time, ever since I've met you, right? So you just need to use the technology that's already in place. You just need to use the platforms that are already in place to expose yourself to more people,
100%.
right? So whether you make a list and you write it down on a piece of paper, or you make a list, on your phone, right? You need to know that the more people know you, the more money you're going to make.
Right.
Right. And you're not trying to go after anybody, right? You're just trying to be you authentically, loudly, and your people, right? We always say, like, if somebody is hating on you, or somebody commented something that, that's whatever, like bullshit, right? It's not your people. They're not your people.
Right.
So
don't trip.
You're not in a convincing game. You're in a game of becoming the best version of you, becoming better than you were yesterday, right? And then it's like, it's like climbing the ladder, right? You're climbing somewhere, right? And you have people around you that you're holding on to, your mentors, your network, right?
100%.
The powerful people. And then you're holding someone, also below, right? And you're climbing on to get all together. Someone is pulling you up, and you're pulling someone up as well.
Right.
Right.
So you say it like that, because I think that's the thing that most people miss is, like, most people want more fulfillment in their life, even though they may not even understand that that's what it is or what it wants. But they also want more guidance and connection. And so it's like the great thing about basically being an entrepreneur, a professional problem solver, is that, like, you get the feeling of connection from your network, from the people that are pulling you up, but you get that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment when you're actually reaching out and helping people. And from there is when you start to find the person that you actually want to be. And so once you start to realize that, you guys, that's when the game changes. That's when all the hard work and focus and systems that are in place start to finally bear the fruit that you have been planting for so long. Jason says if you like fishing, fish louder. He loves that. I love that too, man. And literally, like, a good example of that is like how we met and flying out to the day that we freaking set a Guinness Book of World Record. I don't know if you've set any world records since then. I have.
No.
But it's funny, dude, because for those of you who don't know, Alex was part of the ClickFunnels
coaching program.
Yeah, okay. And so he had an invitation to go out to Boise, Idaho, because of that relationship that he had built with ClickFunnels, because of his investment. He had an opportunity to go out to Boise, Idaho for a private party where Gary Vee was speaking and the Harmon brothers were speaking about viral videos. And it was a celebration because ClickFunnels was releasing a brand new promotional video, and they wanted to get all the top influencers that used their software to all stream live and share at the same time to try to organically boost the reach of this video. And so I'm just some regular ass dude who's like, I don't want to be a bartender anymore. I want to be a professional speaker. And so I built a personal brand through social media in my mobile phone, and I'm just doing my shit. Yo, what's up? It's Marshall, blah, blah, just trying to help people. That's how him and I met, is online. Well, he's heading to Boise, and just because of the energy and the value, I guess, that I put out, he just reached out and he was like, yo, bro, I want to invite you to come with me. So I paid for the ticket. We freaking flew to Boise, and we met, and it was an incredible couple days of content, but just hanging out it was just awesome. And it was just the first taste, bro, where I was like, is this what life is like where you can travel and meet cool people who are about the same shit, and then go to an event like that. And at that event, we actually set a Guinness Book of World Record. We set a Guinness Book of World Record. I'm going to tell you guys what it is here after the next break that we take. But before we get to that, what I want to say before we get into the second half of the show and really start to unpack this stuff is that, if I hadn't taken action, you guys, if I hadn't shown up and started doing that, I never would have come into his radar. I mean, I had no idea that would ever happen. How would I ever think I would ever get invited to a viral video party with all the influencers, which actually was strengthened my brand at the time so much. It almost became a catalyst to what I needed at that moment, because it reinforced the credibility that I've been talking about for so long. And I was able to make relationships with all these big influencers. And then after investing in the next mastermind, they were all like, oh yeah, I saw you out at ClickFunnels, and one thing after another, until like connections are made. And so all I'm saying is if you're listening to anything that Alex has been saying the last freaking 30 minutes, absolute golden fire, it's like if you surround yourself with the right people, you're going to win, okay? Now we're going to talk more about what it is that they're passionate about. You've been doing fitness shit. You're in 75 hard right now. Look at your dude in the back. Do your thing,
Sorry,
bro.
I have my dog walker here.
Dude,
What's
you're
up?
good, bro. Do your thing, man.
Hey, Kumba. He's probably.
And so when we come back after this break, you guys, we're going to get into what it is that's going on and how Alex is doing that and what it means to be a lifestyle entrepreneur. Because literally what I mean by that launch my brand is I learned on that trip that if I build an audience and then I go do cool shit and I film that, now I can start to get a lot of traffic and we can start to do things like build lists. And that just ties into systems. And I'm telling you, every successful entrepreneur is about systems. Because if you don't have, I mean, Alex, how important is systems to your life and your guys' like freedom? I mean, in general.
Huge, man. Huge. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all, life is all about focus, right? If you want to achieve something big, you have to be able to focus on, you know, on certain things.
Yeah.
Right. And there's so many aspects to, right? It's like if you imagine a pie, right? And the pie being your time, right? There's so many things that you're doing throughout life, right? That you're trying to manage around, right? And figure out, okay, where's my focus going?
Right.
If you're scatterbrained and you're doing a million things all at once, you're going to burn out like this, right? Like a match. But exactly. And same, right? You learn from mistakes.
100%.
But if you have systems and you have your priorities straight, then it's going to be epic.
I love that, dude. I love that you said, if you learn from your mistakes, or if you guys invest in your network and learn from people who've already made them, so you don't have to. You guys, this has been the
That's
first
cheaper.
Yeah, it's so, dude, it's so much cheaper. I love that you said that. We're gonna get in that when we come back, you guys. This is Marshal Gillen show. It is Wednesday, June 10th. We're here with Alex Lozenko talking about lifestyle and freedom and making you guys more money, having a good time. We'll see you guys after the break. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Marshal Gillen show. Dude, I woke up in a shitty mood today, but it turns out, like, once I started the show, I was in such a good mood. You know, whenever I feel like shitty, for some reason, my artistic expression is when I feel like I give back through this medium, like it just cheers me up. I don't know why that is, man. Is there anything in your life where, like, when you're in a shitty mood, like, you're like, if I go do this, like, it'll cheer me up? Like, what is that for you?
For me, it's moving my body.
Yeah.
It's literally, and I think it's for most people. It's for all people,
Yeah.
Right. Tony Robbins talks about, you know, motion creates emotion.
Right.
So your body, your brain specifically, is this like chemical factory, right? It fires different chemicals throughout your body, and that's what kind of dictates how you feel, right?
100%.
And so if you start moving your body, and we can go deeper, much deeper about energy and quantum physics and how all that stuff works, right? But literally, if you just start your day with moving your body, whether it's going literally just walking around the block for 10 minutes, or it's doing some push-ups, or it's jumping on a trampoline, or whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to be instantly, your chemistry changes and your physical state changes.
Right.
So,
I mean, so it's not magic. It's just science. It's like, when you move better and you eat better, you function better hormonally, which is literally how God or the creator or whatever designed the human avatar to perform. It's like people, this is the thing that boggles my mind, bro. I'm like, dude, if I took this iPhone and I put a cheeseburger in it and I woke up in the morning and it became a cheeseburger, you would shit yourself. You'd shit yourself. You'd be like, what? Like, if you put like a bag of money in a freaking mailbox and all of a sudden it turned into a money tree the next day. But the human body is like that, but so few people treat it like that. It's like, yo, did you know literally whatever you put inside that pie hole of yours is what your body is going to turn into? And so I think that's an excellent, and maybe that's something I take for granted. Is the fact that I do work out and eat healthy. And so I don't even think about it. It's just such a, it's a habit. But bro, I got a COVID belly.
Same.
Dude,
I did.
gnarly, homie.
Let's talk about it.
Dude, so my big thing is like, I have been not eating as much meat as I used to. I've been eating more meat than I did in 2019, which I was all vegan I remember. I ate honey, but I was all vegan besides honey in 2019. I wanted to try it and I loved it. But then I got back to Illinois and I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to eat some meat. And so I don't eat a whole lot of meat, but dude, I've been eating so many carbs. You know what I mean? And so you talk about ketones a lot, and let's get into that for a little bit. I mean, shit, our viewers, this would be valuable for everybody, including myself. But let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that right now with the ketones and MLMs, it's like, I don't want to say that, network marketing, direct sales companies, is that a lot of the value in the science-based proven results of the products are losing credibility simply because the sheeple of the world are like, oh, network marketing, oh, that's a scam. And it's like, no, not everything's a scam. You don't have to be broke and unhealthy. Like, come on, I'll help you, right? And so maybe you can expand on that a little bit. What are ketones, and what is everybody missing out on when they don't understand what ketosis is and how it can benefit the body, especially for guys who are getting chubby like me?
So ketones, your body naturally produces ketones, right? You actually are born in ketosis, which means that your body is naturally burning fat for fuel instead of glucose, right? So when you're eating, there's two types of fuel: glucose and ketones, right? So when you're eating sugar, when you're eating carbs, and things like that, your body is getting energy off of the glucose, right? And when you're eating meat, well, let's say you're following a keto diet or you're following a carnivore diet. I'm carnivore. I only eat animal produce, right? My body doesn't get any carbs, right? I get a lot of fat and I get a lot of protein, right? And so my body burns that, right? My body burns protein and fat to create that energy. So ketones is basically I'm not going to go deep into science because there's resources for that. There's systems for that, right? Back to systems. But literally ketones, when you drink the drink, instead of following a strict diet, you drink the drink, you get Ketones, they're bioavailable, which means that they are the same as if your body created it itself, right? And they help your body burn more fat for fuel, fat for energy.
So that's in reference to the drink, right? But
Yes.
ketosis in general, you guys, is basically what he's saying is your body has two operating systems, one that operates on sugar and one that operates on fats. Carbohydrates carbohydrates pair with insulin in the body and they create energy for your muscles or for your body, which is just what he's saying, glucose. And it's interesting because when you downregulate the intake of your carbs, and you are now zero carb, but when you downregulate the intake of carbs, what happens is your body switches, because our body's super smart and it wants to survive. And so in lieu of having the energy from a carbohydrate, your body now has to turn to other resources to be able to fuel and power itself. So imagine you're a freaking caveman, 20,000 years ago. And you don't get an opportunity to eat all the time. You're not smashing berries. There's not fresh time. So your body has to be able to adapt to it and switch. So for a lot of people, whether it's long-term or short-term, they're turning to these diets where they're tapping into ketosis. And it's crazy, because people are like, oh, like I'm keto, and then I'll see them like smashing carbs. I'm like, okay, so you read it you Googled keto diet and you clicked images on Google and you're following a little meme, okay? Which is I'm not trying to talk shit, but I'm saying, you guys, there's so much more to it. Not only that, now there's opportunities by science where they're able to mock essentially what our body can do naturally. We talk about this with fasting. Like I'm really big. I do intermittent fasting every day. I'll be doing a 3-day fast here shortly again. And I'm like, it's the same thing. There's stuff out there that can help you mimic a fasting diet and get the results for people who need different solutions. And you're telling us it's the same thing with ketones.
Yes. So literally there's only two ways to get your body in a state of ketosis, right? You can follow a diet or you can drink ketones exogenously. That's all.
That's
right.
it.
It doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that if you slam the entire pizza tonight and drink some ketones, you're gonna lose all the fat that you got.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. You still put that pizza inside of your body, right?
Right.
But what it means is that your body will be able to break down and burn that pizza and burn the get the carbs out and burn the fat faster.
I dig it, man. I think it's an excellent solution. I love what you guys are doing. I thank you for explaining that. Obviously, listen, if you guys are listening to this on the podcast, first off, thank you for joining us, whatever platform you're on. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Facebook, you guys let me know below. Let me know. I told you it's a big day, guys. We're only 8 subscribers away from 1,000. And so once we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we get Mobile Marshal. And I'm excited to be Mobile Marshal. I'm excited to get Mobile Marshal out and on YouTube, man. It's exciting time. But you guys, if you're watching, so listening, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it's worth your time and energy to at least reach out to Alex and ask him a little bit more about ketones. Do you guys have some free training or something? There's probably something.
Man, we got systems on systems, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys know, if you guys are listening or watching the show, you guys know how entrepreneurship works. But the reality of it is that I've preached to you guys all the time. Stop trying to do shit you don't know how to do yourself. Okay? Stop trying to do that. If you don't know how to freaking, build a business, call somebody who does. If you don't know how to, repair the pain from your heart, call somebody who does. If you don't know how to take advantage of your body, not take advantage, well, maybe kind of trick it, right? If you don't know how to take your inner being, taking advantage of your ego. If you don't know how to, if you've been struggling with weight loss, or if you want to know more, reach out to Alex and he'll help you. It's not me trying to pitch him. I'm just being like, yo, listen to this information. Like, what else you guys fucking need to hear? It's worth reaching out and seeing what him and his girlfriend are up to. Let me ask you this, bro.
I appreciate the plug. Let me just make sure to make something clear. Ketones are not weight loss product. This is not a weight loss product, right? Weight and losing fat is a side effect of what ketones actually do for your body. It does so much more than losing fat, than burning fat. So I just wanted to make sure that your people know that this is not a weight loss product at all. Like we don't target people who need to lose fat.
That. Clean up my language, and I didn't mean that I guess for me, when I think personally would think of weight loss, I always know it's fat because I don't have weight to lose. But you're right, speaking very genuinely. And you guys, I mean, I'm in ketosis almost. I mean, I'm in ketosis a lot of times because I fast 18 to 23 hours a day. And so I don't fast or go into ketosis for weight loss at all. And I tell my people this all the time. Like for me personally, the reason I love ketosis or fasting, and again, ketosis is a byproduct of the way that I fast, but is because it's healing. It literally at a molecular and cellular level it's healing your body, or it's a precursor to healing then through nutrition and fitness. And so I love that you correct me on that. Yeah, absolutely. And that's absolutely true. It's not that. And I guess I just, I think that I love that you called me out. Well, not called me out, but they called me out on that is because it's like, that's such a struggle in the fitness and health industry for a lot of people like you and I who are talking actually more about like biohacks or bioengineering or these things that we can actually take advantage of. And people go, oh, you fast because for weight loss? I'm like, oh, no, bro. I'm like, no.
So much more than that.
So much more than weight loss. Yes. Yeah, so I love that. But again, how do you know what you don't know? And that's why you guys got to be around the right type of people. So you're going to want to go hook up with Alex and Boss Lee, Jeffy Lee, you guys, and learn more about that. But dude, we set a world record a couple of years ago. We set a world record for the largest game of bubble soccer ever played.
So fun.
So fun. However, I got to know what your take on it was, because I tell people that and they laugh like it wasn't hard for me. Okay. So I'll share my side, but I want to hear your side first. Like, what was it really like during that game? Like, what was your experience inside the bubble? Like that whole moment, like what was it actually like for you? Because I think people hear it and they're like, oh, that must've been like sunshine and rainbows and everybody was having fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was exhausting, dude.
Yeah.
It was not easy. It's not just you running around, or whatever. It's a physical workout, right? I'm not saying that we trained, for months and months and months to be able to do it.
That's why it's so hard.
Exactly, right? But it was, I mean, I was sweating the entire time.
Well, it was weird because we showed up to the stadium. Remember how freezing ass cold it was? The wind was whipping. It was freezing. And we're like, we have to take off our clothes to get in the bubble. Now, I don't know about you, but dude, I'm like a short, like kind of wide guy. So when I put the bubble on, I was telling people I put the bubble on and I already was like, I was so constricted, I couldn't move. And it only took like 2 or 3 minutes before I realized I would take a deep breath in, but I couldn't exhale fully enough to be like, get a full breath. And on top of that, it was like the inside of the bubble was like super clear, but the outside where people have been running into was all scratched up. So you couldn't see anything. And so here we are in this bubble. You can't move. I can't get a full breath. And I'm breathing in and out. I can't see anything. And it's hotter than crap in there. You're saying it was sweating. I was like, bro, I was sweating. But for those of you guys who are watching and listening, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was we started with 100 people. And before the game started, the official Guinness Book of World Record, guy who was keeping time or whatever, he's like, listen, we have officials placed all around the field. If at any time you stop moving,
you had to keep moving.
If at any time you stop moving, you'll be told once real quick to continue your pace. If at that time you do not continue to move, you'll be asked to leave the field. If at any time you guys fall below 95, then this is all for nothing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So our mentor, he has this big, great thing. Russell Brunson has this big, great party. He organizes, oh, we should have this fucking bubble game of soccer, break the world record. They have to call multiple bubble soccer people in Idaho because there's not 100 bubble soccer things in Idaho. They get them all shipped there. We're all excited. We put them on. And now we're on the field and like, we can't stop running. Dude, I literally thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die, bro. I was like,
how long was it? Was it like 30 minutes or something?
No, it was like 90 minutes or something stupid.
90?
It was something, or two 30-minute halves or something dumb.
Yeah.
I'm off for a second. And so we're moving around and I'm like, bro, I don't know how I'm going to keep moving. Like, I can't breathe as it is. Now, if you're listening,
some people got luckier than others because some people had a little window.
Yeah, not me.
I didn't have a window either.
That's the next thing then, because you put these on, then you couple that with a bunch of ambitious and driven people who have a lot of money. And listen, you guys, it was like a freaking headhunting contest out there. I had little Caleb Maddox trying to blow me up for like freaking the whole entire time. So I don't have health insurance. So I'm out there all like, I can't see, I can't breathe. They're telling me I can't stop moving. I'm sweating bullets and my head's on a swivel. Like people are down playing soccer. I'm like in the corner of the field all by myself, just running in circles. Like I'm still moving. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. But I rocked a couple times. Did you get blown up at all?
I got blown up, I think once.
Yeah.
But I've blown up probably at least 4 or 5 people. I remember blowing up Matt Maddox, and he was not happy, dude.
Oh, bro. Dude, that was such a fun time. And I think that's what people are not understanding or maybe still skeptical of. It's like when you show up every day in a way with systems, which I talk about all the time, having a system, which is why I started a show, right? I'm like, well, I don't want to make content always. I'll just make this. I'll pay to amplify it. So be it. Find a system that works for you. But I'm trying to tell people, if you find something that you're passionate about, like fishing, if you're fishing, like you've been fishing all the time and you just mentioned it, fish louder. Like if you guys love fishing, did you know that if you just made some regular content about fishing, maybe teaching people how to actually tie a hook on so it doesn't ever fall off? Well, this is the old, this could hold a bear kind of knot, or these are different lures, or walking in and having a short conversation with the guy at the tackle shop, or your new ugly stick you got, or your this reel or that reel, or hey, I'm thinking about fly, whatever. The content is endless for fishing. And so when you show up in a way where you just start doing the things that you love, and then you learn skills, which is how to market that, how to sell a product. Maybe it's affiliate marketing where you make a deal with a fishing company, and because you have 10,000 views every time you go live, they're like, yo, bro, we'll give you free fishing gear for life and a check for X amount of dollars if you only use this. These things are possible when you show up in a way that gives value first. And like Alex said in the very beginning, all you got to do is just continue to compete with yourself the day before. And having you on here and everything you've been saying, dude, that's what it's literally, that's, you've proven that's it. 6 years ago, you came to America. Yeah, you spoke some English, not a whole lot, from extreme poverty. And now here you are in a dream situation, doing the things you love every single day with somebody that you love and that loves you back. And like, for all intents and purposes, like the epitome of what the American dream is. If you put your focus into something that is positive and has resourceful results, and you show up courageously, even in spite of fear, Alex, like, dude, persistence, consistency, and here we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What a wild time to be alive, man.
It all comes down to personal development and developing your network, man.
100%. That's the biggest thing. I was like, I know I haven't even asked him this yet, but I know if I ask him the biggest thing that he's had, it's going to be the network. It's like, the more you invest in network that grows. And it's literally, I love how basic and simple you explained it. It's like literally anything that I need to know is just a phone call or a text away, because my network is so vast of people. And if I don't know somebody, the people that love me, my network, for example, I have a buddy who's starting a basketball camp. And I'm like, dude, I know a football player. I know a professional football player. They call him Jimmy Jump. I was like, let me reach out to Jimmy Jump and like, let's get him to come out to a retreat for the first like 3 days. We'll have Jimmy Jump teach the kids on one half. We'll have the parents on the other half during the same time, learning branding and marketing and business aspects so they can market and brand their children. And then at the end of the week, we'll just have like a round robin tournament. And he's like, oh my God, that's a great idea. But for people who are watching and listening, he only gets to have access to those types of ideas is because he's made an investment into me, which is where I'm like, not because he wants to learn that stuff, and that investment invests into his network. Because when you invest into Alex, or you invest into Boss Lee or Marshall or whatever person,
you invest into the Marshall Palooza retreat. I'm telling you, dude, like Marshall is the real deal. I'm telling you, like, if you want to level up your business, you want to level up your life, you want to level up your network, this is the place, this is the event to show up to, right?
Yeah, bro.
That's it, period.
Period.
Pay the money. I don't know what it costs. I don't know when it is. I think it's in September.
Yeah, it's in September. I have tickets between I'll just tell people, because it's nothing for sale. Like either you want to come or you don't. I have tickets for $3 grand, $5 grand, and $6 grand. And so I was like, people are like, how did you determine that? So I'm in Illinois right now with my mom. And in Illinois, when we used to go on vacation every year, we used to go to a place called the Wisconsin Dells. And Wisconsin Dells is fucking awesome. Still probably awesome. But like, bro, it's in the middle of Wisconsin. Okay. So it's not like going to Dallas or going to like San Diego. It's great, but it's still. And so I looked at it, I was like, well, if I wanted to go to the Wisconsin Dells with my family right now, and I wanted to take me let's just take myself. I want to go with some friends. I wanted to have all food, all drinks paid for. I wanted to not have to worry about anything. I wanted to have all the amenities, in-house massages, a cook available whenever I wanted. What would that cost me? And I looked and it was well more than $3,000. And so I was like, okay, that's a fair start. I'm going to take somebody to South Lake Tahoe, right? And so for $3,000 for people to come out, otherwise it's like $5,000 for a couple or $6,000 for a private room. And the reason I tell people all this stuff and share it with them is because I'm just like, I don't, if you come, you come. If you join Alex, you join Alex. The point of it is I just want people to know what the fuck we're doing without a bunch of smoke and mirrors so they can go, oh, how does this really work? Because after spending 3 years in the entrepreneur and speaking and like coaching space, it's so scummy and so like icky because everybody's like smoke and mirrors and they're trying to trick this. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm going on vacation. That's it. Like, I'm going on vacation. If you want to go on vacation with me, this is what it costs to have a room in the house. I'm going to take care of everything. If you want to get healthy and you want to learn how to make money while being around other people who promote health and wellness, you call Alex. Like, that's just how it works. That's why I put people on my show and in my network. Well, I'm like, if you guys want to win, go pick whatever you want. But dude, I love the way you two are showing up because you just put it out there. You're like, I'm living my life. Sometimes we do good. Sometimes it's in between. Most of the time we're winning, but it's not always like that. And so you just share that. And I think that, you know, the people to look and observe what you guys are doing, how you're living and building a business through lifestyle entrepreneurship is just like, it's incredible, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Well, dude, I want to be respectful of your time. Dude, is there anything you want to share with us before you go? Is there anything else you want to say?
Man, I like something that's been on my mind is through this COVID time, whatever the reason it happened, right? Whoever set it up or why it happened, I believe that there is a much bigger purpose behind what just happened, right? And I believe that I don't know where I heard. I think I heard it yesterday. Maybe Dean Graziosi said that. He said, look, everybody's been praying for more time, right, to start something new. Everybody's been praying, you know, saying, oh, I don't have enough time to start a new business. I don't have enough time to, meet more people or learn this new skill or whatever. Here we go. 100%. COVID happened. You had all the time in the world. What did you do? The question is, what did you do? Right? Because I know most people were Netflix and chilling. Right.
Absolutely.
And people and businesses that are going to be some of the biggest brands out there in the world in the next decade, 2 or 3, were started during COVID.
100% true.
Right.
Man.
And so it's like, you know, yeah, COVID is going away, but keep in mind, right, while you were sitting at home locked up, you had this time to think, right? And I think a lot of people had a lot more time to spend with themselves inside their mind. And right now, something great is happening. I feel like, you know, this huge awakening of souls is happening right now as we speak, because finally you were able to kind of like put all the distractions aside and spend some time with real you.
Yeah.
So
I love that, dude. That's a great point.
It's it's incredible to see the change that's happening. And anyway, I don't want to go on a whole different tangent. Dude. I want to be respectful.
It's true though. It's true because I've literally been saying that. Like on March 13th, I released a video on YouTube, which was Friday the 13th. It was the day that they officially closed down America. And I told everybody, I said, listen, this is your get out of jail free card. You will never again, and maybe our ancestors, nobody else has ever had an opportunity. This is the get out of jail free card where right now you can stop doing your relationship, your job, your anything, and nobody will bat an eye because they'll be like, oh, we understand. Because it was an opportunity for everybody to wipe the slate clean. All the people that are complaining, that are incited by, you know, the news and the race wars and everything. We started this whole episode off before you came on. I told them, listen, the reason that Alex has success is because where focus goes, energy flows. And him and his girlfriend are choosing to what they focus on and who they surround themselves with. That's why he's literally, I said, hey, is there anything else you want to share before you go? And he tells you guys literally the same thing that we led into the episode with. You guys, it's a choice. It's a decision on what you're going to do. And the Great Awakening, I mean, I've been saying, dude, I know that you probably agree too.
Crazy.
Like, it's a good versus evil thing, man. It's like a spiritual warfare going on right now, and
Yes.
we have an opportunity to start over and become anything we want. That's why I launched my show. I said, fuck it. If I could get paid to do anything, I would have a morning talk show. And so, you know, I just want everybody to know when you show up and take that chance, good things start to come. And, you know, like essentially it looks like I'm going to be getting paid to be a travel agent from now on, which is crazy.
I love it. I love it.
Getting paid to go fishing and do 75 hard.
Yes. Yes.
Well, bro, thank you so much, man. Maybe we'll have to get back on another time and do a more in-depth ketone one. But I really appreciate being here, bro. It's good to catch up. Where are you at in Austin or Dallas?
I'm in Frisco. Yeah.
Frisco.
Close to Dallas. Frisco,
is that
Texas.
where the stadium is at?
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So Dallas Cowboys headquarters is here and the training facility. But their stadium is down in Arlington.
Oh, how far is that from Frisco?
It's like 30 minutes drive. Not too far.
I was just in Dallas like a year ago, but I can't remember where I was at in Dallas. Got in an accident. It was terrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've never been in. All right, I'll let you go, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you.
Later,
See
homie. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We just had Alex Lozenko on. What an episode. Just sharing some new perspectives with you. You guys know, as always, it's the Marshal Gillen Show. We are streaming to you live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And even though we're not the biggest show, I'm still convinced that we're the best show. And the more people I get here through your guys' help, the more lives I can transform. We're just sharing stories on a mission to save 1 billion lives, save 1 billion lives. Thanks for tuning in. And you guys, make sure you tune in tonight on Marshal TV as the second installment of the nightly show with Kyle Dillinger will be airing. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.